This is Joshua Hart of JTH Boxing. I'm in Manchester. Today I'm joined with Jack Catterall. Jack, a very heated press conference up there. Kind of what we expected after, the last 2 years. This fight has changed from being for belts for being for bragging rights. But I'm sure you expected him to come out and play these games again on stage.
Yeah, it was expected. It was lively yesterday. I expected the same energy today. He was coming out into Manchester today to all the boos and that, so he was going to get his back up, and yeah, it's exciting. It's got that big fight feel about it, and that genuine needle there, so it's exciting.
Obviously, when he first came out on stage after being about nearly half an hour late, he handed you a colouring book. Bit weird, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm allowed to give my opinion, but it's a bit strange. It's a bit strange. What did you make of that?
You know what? I'm the same opinion as you. A bit strange. Don't know where the narrative come from, because it had some like pens in it, and I was the first to sign the contract after waiting for ages. I'm great at colouring. I know my colours. I can spell, so it was a bit strange, but nonetheless, I thought. Bit odd, you turned up half an hour late, you brought some crayons, there's a slap, sit down, let's get on with it.
Do you reckon it was just a very poor attempt at him trying to get into your head?
Yeah, poor attempt to humour. You're going to have to do something really significant to get in my head, and he's not about it.
Obviously, I've been saying this a lot today. The last 2 years, every single time you've probably done an interview and had a conversation with someone, I'm sure Josh Taylor's probably come up in that conversation. But finally, after 2 years, come fight night, it'll be over 2 years since the first fight. You'll be able to put it all to bed, and you'll be able to go and have a conversation with someone and not have to say, "Oh, what if?" Because hopefully by that point you would have put this all to bed.
Yeah, of course, and I'm guessing it on the flip side it'll be the same for him, for members of the team. It's been constantly asked, and it's nice. It's kind of a relief finally to have a date locked in and a venue so we can settle it and put it to bed.
And how frustrating has it been the last 2 years? Obviously, not just necessarily. Obviously with the controversy, but obviously this fight's been booked in so many times, scheduled so many times, it's kept falling through. Was there ever any point where you were doubting you were ever going to get a rematch with Josh Taylor?
You know what, I can't say it's been frustrating because very fortunate that I've been able to fight twice since that. But again, I'm getting asked about it still, the demand for the fight's still there, so it makes sense to do the fight. And ultimately it's done now, so after April the 27th, the answers will be there, and it won't be, are we having a rematch, where we can both move on from it.
And what are we expecting come April 27th? Not necessarily from Josh, but obviously Leeds, it's a somewhat neutral venue, obviously probably a lot closer to Chorley than Edinburgh. But what can we expect in the arena that night? You
know what, I think it's going to be lively. The last 2 days we've been Edinburgh, Manchester, a lot of people have turned out for it. It's certainly captured the public's eye. It's a fight that's been called for the last 2 years, so I think it'll be a pro crowd for me. I think so. It's an hour from where I live, so it's not too far up the road. It's going to be rowdy, it's going to be good, and we're going to have fun.
Finally, just a message to Josh Taylor, if he's watching this. I know you've already spoke to him a lot, but just a final message to Josh Taylor ahead of April 27th.
You know what, there is no real message. Prepare well and turn up to fight.
Jack, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck on April 27th.